dog, boy. That girl knows she's so from so. Lord have mercy. Me too. Yes, indeed. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, indeed. But I be ready, you know. I called Irene last night and I talked to her. She didn't have your number. She wanted me to tell you. She said, everybody in there, but they Friday. I said, they know. Mm-hmm. You cannot blame her for everything that goes wrong in your life, from your teeth to your dog bites to simple tasks that you can't do around the house. You failed to demonstrate to us in any way she's responsible for your pain and suffering and failure to provide you services. That's why I just called you. Okay, you doing all right health-wise, huh? In its entirety. We were unanimous as to that. We were not unanimous as to the verdict for you. Judge Advocate strenuously dissents with regard to punitive damages only. She feels that you would be entitled to punitive damages. Judge Backman and I do not. But we do feel that you are entitled to $138 for the labor that you performed on her behalf. She was not suffering with that. But you, ma'am, judgment in your favor, $138.
Come out and face me, Batman, if you dare.
want, and you eat one of them, you don't need no more all day. So at 360, because you had to add up 65 3 times, because you have 65 3 times a day. So 3 times 65 is what? I thought you said 65. So, and that's our weakness. My weakness is bread. I love my cornbread. I'm like, dang, babe. Okay. No copy. Here. But I like that turkey. How about the turkey? Really? Because Sanford mostly got that salt in it, you know. Oh, that's the meat. Put that on wheat bread, then you got, you're good to go. So you can eat 3 sandwiches a day with the wheat bread and that type of ham. What kind is it? Water? Yeah, I drink my water faithfully. I haven't had a cold drink. I'll do that too. What about that diet tea? Yeah. So I was getting that sweet tea, but I switched over to that diet tea. Okay. And it don't, I believe it or not, it's just, you know, this week. No, it don't. You know, it don't. You know. I don't put no sugar in my cereal. Never. I never add sugar.
We've lost one. Programming cover to respond. Cloudburst scan almost complete, sir.
Well, accurate and great. I like those great. Dad made some good old tuna fish last night, and I got up and ate well, it wasn't even enough to make a sound, but I ate that on one slice of bread this morning. I'm good to go. Complete meal, your protein, your carbs, and it fills you up, you know? I might get some of them. All right, that's fine. That's fine. She watching her diet. Good, man. What her diet for this?
I think that will make a big difference in the way you will go along with her and get along with her. Yeah, and I feel like, again, like, it's easy to get kids excited about babies. Like, it's easy to get them excited about popcorn. So it's really, you know, like babies, like, babies are fun, and I think you can build it up like, hey, you're going to be a big sister, and there's all this responsibility with it, and like, you're going to be a role model, and like, really let her know that she was like the original one. You know, you can be holding your baby, you can be like,
Girl, rent him a truck. Yeah, I can see him call me and say he's feeling much better, he look much better. You know, going to work today.
so my question is, my husband's family.
You poop or you pee? Let me see.
His ex-wife to all family functions. Christmas, Easter, Thanksgiving, and she shares.
You did both for one. Boy, I hate these old pull-ups. You don't need to be on, no, you need to be on some draws.
I'm not interested in spending the holidays with my husband's ex-wife. Yeah, so I mean, I can say for sure also, like, as the stepchild, I can tell you, or, you know, the child, I can tell you, I didn't want my parents spending the holidays together. Once they were divorced, it was more uncomfortable for me, probably.
Oh, this one?
Than
Okay,
anyone
great.
else, and they got along fine. Like, first of all, it seemed strange to me as the child, but I would be like, why are you guys hanging out on Christmas? And also, you know, the bonus of having two families when you're a kid is that you get two holidays.
This thing right, I'm no leaking in there.
I wanted to jump in. So actually, this is another thing that I'm really fortunate about is that my
Yes,
fiance's
ma'am.
ex and I get along really well. She's actually going to
Yes,
be at my
ma'am.
bridal party and be a bridesmaid. So,
All right, all done.
we've been together for 5 years, so I understand
Good to go.
that it can be kind of hard
Big
once,
booty Judy.
you know, she's there, and I know I told
You
this
wanna go
to
back?
us too.
You got back with me? I'm gonna go pee
We've
first.
chosen to get along, and we started that relationship by communicating and by finding that common piece of ground with the stepchild. And I think stepchildren, or kids in general, want to see their families together on these big ticket items like Christmas and holidays and birthdays, and so I think.
water. Why you got to be in? Where your top? Yeah. Why you bring a bottle of water here with no top on it? Put it up. Where your top? I got my flow wet up now. Go get a toy to play with.
cloudburst. Withdraw.
You can't defeat me. The cloudburst is too powerful.
He's gone!
Stop! Go find a toy.
Come out and face me, Batman, if you dare.
Cobra tank down. Holding formation.
What do you think you're doing? Finishing the job.
This is not the plan we agreed upon.
It's a plan that works. Scarecrow can choke on his toxin, Batman. He wants you to suffer. I just want you dead. Stop playing hard to get. Come and fight.
I need to concentrate on clearing Scarecrow's toxin.
Sir, the Cloudburst has been mounted onto the Arkham Knight's personal tank. Both are too well armored for a direct assault.
How's the Cloudburst operating?
Its power source is internal, but the device has been modified with a coolant system to avoid overheating.
That's the weak point. A rupture will set off a chain reaction, destroy the Cloudburst, and could take out the tank as well.
I'm reconfiguring your scanner to locate the vehicle's coolant lines. Good luck, sir.
I need to get closer to scan the tank while remaining out of sight. I'm too far away from the scanner to be effective. I need to get closer without the Knight seeing me. The scanner won't work from this range. I need to get closer and avoid being spotted. I'm too far away from the scanner to be effective. I need to get closer without the Knight seeing me. The coolant lines run close to the surface of the tank. I should be able to rupture them with a shell from the 60mm cannon. But one strike won't be enough, and I can't stay near that gun. Attack and fall back is my only option.
That won't stop me! No escape!
He's trying to overheat the cloudburst. Leave now.
He cannot win!
You will have your chance to kill him.
I'm not waiting anymore. I don't need permission to kill you.
Should have though.
You lost, old man. You can try, Rowan. You just delayed the inevitable. If you want the cloudburst, come take it. Let me show you what real damage looks like. Coward. You can't run.
The cloudburst is not bait, Knight. It is mine.
And Batman is mine. You tried so hard for so long. What are you really, huh? You just you're a man in a suit, playing hero. won't withstand another strike.
Retreat.
No! This is to the end. I will find you!
The explosion disabled the main cannon. Now I can get close and concentrate fire on the cloudburst.
You won't win. Ever.
Finished, and Gotham's finished too.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
The explosion disabled the main cannon. Now I can get close and concentrate fire on the cloudburst.
You won't win. Ever.
Enjoy. Fail to solve them. Only to self-loathing and despair.
finished, and Gotham's finished too.
The explosion disabled the main cannon. Now I can get close and concentrate fire on the cloudburst.
You won't win. Ever.
Joy! Failed to solve them. All into self-loathing and despair. End it all by plunging into the dark yet welcoming waters of the bay. Failed to solve them. Failed to end it all.
This is where you die. This ends now. You thought you could win? I can still beat you. You can't stop me. I can still beat you.
You're finished, and Gotham's finished too.
Boy, I didn't make the Batmobile so goddamn hard to drive.
Stop it.
The explosion disabled the main cannon. Now I can get close and concentrate fire on the cloudburst.
You won't win. Ever.
Joy! Failed to solve them. All into self-loathing and despair. End it all by plunging into the dark yet welcoming waters of the bay. Failed to solve them. Failed to end it all.
What you doing? You got all these money in.
Load screen, ridiculous.
The explosion disabled the main cannon. Now I can get close and concentrate fire on the cloudburst.
You won't win. Ever.
Enjoy! Fail to solve them! All into self-loathing and despair. End it all by plunging into the dark and welcoming waters of the bay. Fail them! Fail! End it all!
This is where you die. You thought you could win? You can't stop me.
You're finished. And Gotham's finished too.
Stop.
That won't stop me.
The explosion.
Ghostbusters, one team is making the world safe for the whole family.
Don't listen. Help.
Engaged. Greetings, everyone. In this episode, I show a very easy, stress-free way to beat the Cloudburst tank. We join the fight just after scanning the Cloudburst tank, because only now does the actual battle with the tank start. Prior to this, you should have avoided the Cloudburst tank and taken out the 6 Cobra tanks first. Anyway, this is where we have to go on the map in order for this trick to work. You will see why shortly. The most efficient way is to let the tank see you and then let it follow you back to the location on the map. But you can get hit a few times, so it's risky, and I wouldn't recommend you do that unless you are really experienced in driving the Batmobile. There it is, but it did not see us because we were not in its line of sight. And now to get its attention. Note how I immediately moved to cover after firing. Never take it on, and then stay out in the open. It nearly got me, which is why it's probably best to fire it nearer this tunnel. But that can take a lot longer, since it can take its sweet time getting near here on its own. It has stopped chasing us, otherwise this garage was our ultimate destination. No matter, we will have plenty of opportunities to visit it shortly, as we go out to take another shot at that thing. I took a risk here, getting so close to it, but I wanted to hurry things up a little. Ladies and gentlemen, I now present to you this so-called cool trick. And that trick is that the cloudburst tank cannot follow us in here.
He's trying to overheat the cloudburst. Leave now. He cannot win! You will have your chance to kill him. I'm not waiting anymore.
Don't let it get too far away from the tunnel entrance, and a good way to do that is to fire at it, regardless of whether you have a lock on it or not. It didn't follow us, so let's try again. Its behavior varies, and sometimes it will change course and come back this way, which is better for us, as we do not want it to have long sight lines when facing us. Our aim is to fire at it from around the left corner of the hill, if we were coming out of a tunnel. In fact, from this point exactly.
If you want the cloudburst, come take it.
Normally, one random, unlocked shot is all it takes to make the tracker chase you back to the garage, but not on this occasion.
Real damage looks like. Coward.
Now back to the garage, or as I like to call it, the safe room. Do not leave the safe room until the tank turns from red back to amber on the radar. If you do, the Arkham Knight will not hesitate to hunt you down. Here, let me demonstrate.
I'm gonna end you.
See? The fracker is relentless, but I'm sure most of you already knew that, which might be the reason you are watching this video in the first place.
Wait tonight. It is mine. And Batman is mine. That car's not strong enough. Neither are you. This tank was built to destroy you. Catch in my sights.
And there's not a damn thing you can do about it, asshole, thanks to my safe room. He must be really mad, because he doesn't want to go away. If this happens, just exit the safe room to get him back here, and hopefully, that should shake him loose from hunt and kill mode.
I won't stop. Never. You can't match this power. The cloudburst won't withstand another strike. Retreat. No. This is to the end.
The thing is, you have to be really patient, because this fracker can end you with just a couple of shots. Don't forget, I'm playing a new game plus difficulty, so I'm sure he does more damage at this level. If we could manually save,
that I would be a lot more aggressive, but since we can't, I simply do not want to start from the last checkpoint again, which would basically put us back to the start of this video.
Show yourself!
The explosion disabled the main cannon. Now I can get close and concentrate fire on the cloudburst.
So now we are on to the final stage of the fight. This can be fought by simply going around a small building in circles. That's how I did it the first time I played this, but since we are in this tunnel, we might as well use it. You can get a similar effect simply by dodging around a bend. Anyway, since we just hit a checkpoint, I restarted from that checkpoint because I needed a break. Also, you get full health again, which is something to bear in mind if your health is running low. Your aim should be to hit the bottom half of the tank, because that's where you will do damage. Eventually, you will destroy the tank. It took me about 16 minutes to destroy the cloudburst tank using this strategy. The time includes the first and second stage of this fight, not including the Cobra tanks, which I did not show. This is the safest strategy, which guarantees success, but it may not necessarily be the quickest strategy. You could try a quicker strategy, but that will probably involve more risk, which could lead to countless deaths, hence ultimately take you a lot longer to complete. The reality is, how well you do in this game is mostly down to luck, because this game can cheat and put you at a sudden disadvantage if it wants to. But if you use the strategy shown in this video, the element of luck is taken out of the equation, and you should be able to complete this part with a minimum of stress. Because I remember when I first played this part, I really hated it and I got really frustrated. Hopefully, after watching this, you can avoid
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Got a lot of them. That's all 26 of them. B, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I said my ABC. Next time, won't you say them with me? Yeah. A, B, C, D.
The welfare kids aside and run into a burning building. We just discovered that I started this job.
So as we altered, it was basically used to kill us.
Now, this appeared in 1976, and for those of you guys who are familiar with Jack Kirby post-Marvel, when he left Marvel around the 1970s and when he came to DC, you guys are familiar that Jack Kirby had intended to launch a series called The New Gods, and to a degree he did. He wanted to create this giant, massive, I guess, mythology around the concept of the New Gods, but the problem was that in the 1970s, DC was this big melting pot of experimentation, and so a lot of the titles that were going to go towards the New Gods mythology were ultimately canceled out. And so when Jack Kirby came back to Marvel, he basically launched the Eternals. Now, what we learned in this 1-12 limited series is that at some point in the distant past of the planet Earth, the Celestials arrived and they basically found what would become human beings in terms of evolution. That is to say, they found apes that walked upward. And so what they did is, knowing that these apes would eventually turn into humans, they effectively used the DNA of these apes to create two other societies. The first society were the Deviants, and the second society were the Eternals. Now, the Deviants were basically a race of physical mutants. Think of them like a combination between the Morlocks of H.G. Wells' Time Machine and the Morlocks in Marvel Comics. They mostly existed subterranean. Very rarely did they ever actually have any contact with humans, and in fact, a lot of the stories that originate in the Earth 616 continuity in human mythology about trolls, ogres, things like that, those all come from meeting with the Deviants under weird circumstances. Now, the Eternals were the opposite. The Eternals were nearly genetic perfection. They were basically the closest that any singular being could get to being the Celestials without actually being a Celestial. They had a massive amount of power, but the problem was that as time progressed with the Eternals, they ultimately fell into a state of civil war. And so what we found was that the Eternals split off into multiple casts around the Earth 616 continuity, which is why we have different versions of the Eternals. We have some Eternals that protect the planet Earth. We have some Eternals that live among human habitation on the planet Earth. And for example, there are Eternals that live on the moon Titan of Saturn. Now, this is where Thanos comes into play. What we know is that with the Celestials destabilizing the gene pool of the Deviants, ultimately leading to these rapid mutations and crazy things like that, we would also have to assume that somewhere along the line, they had installed the potential inside of Eternals to become Deviants. And so this is the reason why, when Thanos was born, he was born with the physical appearance that he did. Thanos is effectively a mutant among Eternals. He is half Eternal with or I guess he's full Eternal with a deviant gene. And this is the reason why he is so much more powerful than all the other Eternals. This is the reason why he looks the way that he does, simply because of the fact that he is basically a hybrid among his own people. Now, what we know is that over the course of Marvel Comics, the Celestials have appeared over several occasions. We know that, for example, at somewhere in the distant past, again, around 5,000 or 6,000 BC, around the time that Apocalypse was rising to power, Apocalypse had come into contact with Celestial technology. Now, the original assumption and the continuity of the X-Men was that Apocalypse had encountered the Celestial technology, he had used it for his own ends, and ultimately gave himself this power. This is not until the Decimation storyline with X-Men into issue number 186 that we learned that Apocalypse had actually borrowed this technology from the Celestials, that an agreement had been made between Apocalypse and the Celestials that if he was willing to pay debts later on, that ultimately he could use this Celestial technology for his own ends. Now, of course, we know he failed to pay those debts. We know that at the end of X-Men Volume 2, issue number 186, or at least in this series, that ultimately Apocalypse was taken away by the Celestials, which is the reason why Apocalypse had embarked on so many campaigns to gain so much power. His attempt here was to always find a way to basically stave off the Celestials by attempting to gain as much power as he did, which of course, or I guess as much power as they did, which of course he was ultimately unsuccessful in doing it. Now, the one thing we also have to keep in mind here is that the original coming of the Celestials, at least as it was given to us in the Eternals when they first began experimenting with humans, this could be considered the first host of Celestials. And this is how they appear routinely. They always appear in hosts. The second host of the Celestials came after the Deviants and the Eternals had effectively been created, after they had reached this sort of, I guess, expansion point of sorts. And when the second host of Celestials arrived, they began to examine the planet Earth to see how far their experiments had evolved, and whether or not the planet Earth should continue to sustain life itself, which again is something that we'll get into when we find out what happens when something fails this test. But ultimately, when they had arrived, the Deviants had immediately attacked the Celestials, and so as a result, the Celestials had basically wiped most of the Deviants from the face of existence, leaving only a handful left, and then left the planet Earth. And so what we found was that, again, the third celestial host appears in Thor Annual issue number 7 and in issues number 283 to issues number 300. And what happens here is that, again, the celestials appear here for the purpose of judging the planet Earth. Now, the way that this works, they have what's called a judging celestial. This is the celestial that arrives on the planet Earth to determine, or arrives on any planet to determine whether or not it can continue to exist. And the original intention here was called the aspirants. Now, we don't actually know what the aspirants look like. In fact, all that's really explained to us in this story is that somewhere along the line, the aspirants had created something called the God Killer armor. And the God Killer armor was quite literally this giant mechanism, this giant, human-like being that stood 25,000 feet tall, and it was basically used to kill off the Celestials. Now, what's also established here is that prior to this war between the Aspirants and the Celestials, that there had apparently been billions of Celestials. There had been almost countless Celestials, and that somewhere along the line, once this war had initiated, Celestials were being killed off left and right. And so ultimately, through some form or another, the God Killer armor was more or less, I guess, defeated, or at the very least deactivated, and as a result, the Aspirants had evolved into civil war, and the Celestials wiped out what was left of the group. Now from here, we jump to the actual first chronological appearance. This is the first comic book appearance of the Celestials in Marvel Comics with Eternals issues 1 through 12. Now this appeared in 1976, and for those of you guys who are familiar with Jack Kirby post-Marvel, when he left Marvel around the 1970s and when he came to DC, you guys are familiar that Jack Kirby had intended to launch a series called The New Gods, and to a degree he did. He wanted to create this giant, massive, I guess, mythology around the concept of the New Gods, but the problem was that in the 1970s, DC was this big melting pot of experimentation, and so a lot of the titles that were going to go towards the New Gods mythology were ultimately canceled off. And when Jack Kirby came back to Marvel Comics, he basically launched the Eternals. Now what we learn in this 1 through 12 limited series is that at some point in the distant past of the planet Earth, the Celestials arrived and they basically found what would become human beings in terms of evolution. That is to say, they found apes that walked upright. And so what they did is, knowing that these apes would eventually turn into humans, they effectively used the DNA of these apes to create two other societies. The first society were the Deviants, and the second society were the Eternals. Now the Deviants were basically a race of physical mutants. Think of them like a combination between the Morlocks of H.G. Wells' Time Machine and the Morlocks in Marvel Comics. They mostly existed subterranean. Very rarely did they ever actually have any contact with humans, and in fact, a lot of the stories that originate in the Earth 616 continuity in human mythology about trolls, ogres, things like that, those all come from meeting with the Deviants under weird circumstances. Now the Eternals were the opposite. The Eternals were nearly genetic perfection. They were basically the closest that any singular being could get to being the Celestials without actually being a Celestial. They had a massive amount of power, but the problem was that as time progressed with the Eternals, they ultimately fell into a state of civil war. And so what we found was that the Eternals split off into multiple castes around the Earth 616 continuity, which is why we have different versions of the Eternals. We have some Eternals that protect the planet Earth. We have some Eternals that live among human habitation on the planet Earth. And for example, there are Eternals that live on the moon Titan of Saturn. Now this is where Thanos comes into play. What we know is that with the Celestials destabilizing the gene pool of the Deviants, ultimately leading to these rapid mutations and crazy things like that, we would also have to assume that somewhere along the line, they had installed the potential inside of Eternals to become Deviants. And so this is the reason why when Thanos was born, he was born with the physical appearance that he did. Thanos is effectively a mutant among Eternals. He is half Eternal with a he's full Eternal with a deviant gene, and this is the reason why he is so much more powerful than all the other Eternals. This is the reason why he looks the way that he does, simply because of the fact that he is basically a hybrid among his own people. Now what we know is that over the course of Marvel Comics, the Celestials have appeared over several occasions. We know that, for example, that somewhere in the distant past, again around 5,000 or 6,000 BC, around the time that Apocalypse was rising to power, Apocalypse had come into contact with Celestial technology. Now the original assumption and the continuity of the X-Men was that Apocalypse had encountered the Celestial technology, he had used it for his own ends, and ultimately gave himself this power. It's not until the Decimation storyline with X-Men Volume 2, issue number 186, that we learned that Apocalypse had actually borrowed this technology from the Celestials, that an agreement had been made between Apocalypse and the Celestials that if he was willing to pay debts later on, that ultimately he could use this Celestial technology for his own ends. Now, of course, we know he failed to pay those debts. We know that at the end of X-Men Volume 2, issue number 186, or at least in this series, that ultimately Apocalypse was taken away by the Celestials, which is the reason why Apocalypse had embarked on so many campaigns to gain so much power. His attempt here was to always find a way to basically stave off the Celestials by attempting to gain as much power as he did, which of course, or I guess as much power as he did, which of course he was ultimately unsuccessful in doing it. Now, the one thing that we also have to keep in mind here is that the original coming of the Celestials, at least as it was given to us in the Eternals, when they first began experimenting on humans, this could be considered the first host of Celestials. And this is how they appear routinely. They always appear in hosts. The second host of the Celestials came after the Deviants and the Eternals had effectively been created, after they had reached this sort of, I guess, expansion point of sorts. And when the second host of Celestials arrived, they began to examine the planet Earth to see how far their experiments had evolved, and whether or not the planet Earth should continue to sustain life itself, which again is something that we'll get into when we find out what happens when something fails this test. But ultimately, when they had arrived, the Deviants had immediately attacked the Celestials, and so as a result, the Celestials had basically wiped most of the Deviants from the face of existence, leaving only a handful left, and then left the planet Earth. And so what we found was that, again, the third Celestial host appears in Thor Annual issue number 7, and in issues number 283 to issues number 300. And what happens here is that, again, the Celestials appear here for the purpose of judging the planet Earth. Now, the way that this works, they have what's called a judging Celestial. This is the Celestial that arrives on the planet Earth to determine, or arrives on any planet to determine whether or not it can continue to exist. And the original intention here of the Celestials when they arrived was that all life needed to simply be removed. The judge had basically deemed that the planet Earth was no longer, I guess, able or needed to sustain life, and so the intention was to wipe out all life and effectively start over again. And so in the midst of this conflict between Thor and the Asgardians, while they had basically failed in stopping the Celestials due to the vast amount of power the Celestials had, that the biological mother of Thor, that is to say Mother Earth herself, had effectively intervened by simply presenting the Celestials with 12 beings. Now these 12 beings, as they were presented to the Celestials, were effectively the pinnacle of humanity. They were the best that humanity had to offer in terms of their aspirations, their capabilities. They were basically the peak of humanity in terms of its evolution as far as its initial, I guess, implementation is, with regards to the Celestials. And so the Celestials, being satisfied with this offering, had effectively left the planet Earth alone. Now in Quasar issue number 24 from volume planet Earth. And so what we found was that, again, the third Celestial host appears in Thor Annual issue number 7, and in issues number 283 to issues number 300. And what happens here is that, again, the Celestials appear here for the purpose of judging the planet Earth. Now, the way that this works, they have what's called a judging Celestial. This is the Celestial that arrives on the planet Earth to determine, or arrives on any planet to determine whether or not it can continue to exist. And the original intention here of the Celestials when they arrived was that all life needed to simply be removed. The judge had basically deemed that the planet Earth was no longer, I guess, able or needed to sustain life, and so the intention was to wipe out all life and effectively start over again. And so in the midst of this conflict between Thor and the Asgardians, while they had basically failed in stopping the Celestials due to the vast amount of power the Celestials had, that the biological mother of Thor, that is to say Mother Earth herself, had effectively intervened by simply presenting the Celestials with 12 beings. Now these 12 beings, as they were presented to the Celestials, were effectively the pinnacle of humanity. They were the best that humanity had to offer in terms of their aspirations, their capabilities. They were basically the peak of humanity in terms of its evolution as far as its initial, I guess, implementation with regards to the Celestials. And so the Celestials, being satisfied with this offering, had effectively left the planet Earth alone. Now in Quasar issue number 24 from Volume 1, which came out in 1991, I think, around the time, and I believe it was actually part of a tie-in to the Infinity Gauntlet storyline, Quasar witnesses what happens when I guess a race fails the genetic test of the Celestials, which tells us that the planet Earth was not the only planet the Celestials had ever experimented with. That in fact the Celestials had experimented with other planets. And so when he arrives on this alternate, or I guess this other planet, what he finds is that the Celestials are effectively wiping out all life on this planet entirely. It's being completely eradicated eradicated. All life is being moved. The entire planet is being sanitized, and as a result, the Celestials will start over with their experimentation again. But again, what we find is that for the most part, with regards to this explanation of the Celestials, none of this really matters. None of this is really important, and the reason why is because in New Avengers issue number 30, what we found was that basically the Beyonders had wiped out the Celestials alongside Eternity and Infinity and the other cosmic entities, including the Living Tribunal. And so basically, all the cosmic entities are dead. Nothing really exists now in terms of the form of cosmic entities in the Marvel continuity. And so again, this is all just kind of leading up to Secret Wars. This is also as part of this lead up to Secret Wars, where we see pretty much everything coming to an end and the multiverse being reconciled into a single reality. With that being said, we're going to bring this video to an end. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, let me know, and I will catch you guys later. Peace. Be sure to follow me on Twitter. There you can keep up with all the updates from Comics Explained and talk to me directly.
Hey now.
Hey! Good morning, guys. You alright? Oh, shut the hell up. I look like I'm alright.
Sorry I missed that interview.
Don't play with nothing.
Maybe it could have been softer.
Better go play with something safe over there. Better go play with something safe. Alright? It's dangerous over here. Drop on a clues bomb convenience sequel, damn. Absolutely. Okay. Two men can have opinions about each other and share those opinions with each other.
I like that you still was jamming out to the mini mix too. The thing you see with me.
Well, I'm supposed to stop liking being
Sometimes people have personal issues with somebody.
I don't take anything personally. I keep trying to tell y'all that.
They hit jamming.
I don't know when y'all gonna realize that. I don't take anything personally. As long as I have issue with anybody, I just have opinions. That's it. Some people are afraid to share them. Some people aren't. I happen to be one of those people who aren't. Sorry.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get to the rumors. Let's talk Drake.
It's about time. What's going on?
Rumor Report, Rumor Report. This is the Rumor Report with Angela Yee on The Breakfast Club.
Well, Drake has announced a new tour that he's going on for 2017. It's the Boy Meets World Tour, and that's going to start in Amsterdam January 21st. Now, we already know about his Summer 16 tour and all of that. He actually had to postpone some dates because he had an ankle injury. But what else is going on in Drake's life? Well, according to rumors, Drake and Rihanna are taking a break from dating. And we told you this before. They're saying that Drake is now dating India Love. Well, there might really be some truth to that. I don't know if you guys saw this, but I forgot that Drake actually used to date India Love's sister, Crystal Westbrook. And she put up on Twitter, well, this is getting really awkward. That awkward moment when she hops on your ex's ... never mind, hashtag I feel like Ray J. And then she posted, Drake shows up with lovely model Crystal Westbrook, and she said, I need answers, Ray. Then she unfollowed her sister, India, and she did the whole I hit it first.
Aren't real sisters supposed to share and share alike, though? Not like, why did they run a train on Drake?
I don't know how that happened, but, I mean, I can imagine that seems a little bit disturbing. Why would you date
a little awkward. That's a real sister.
That's a real sister.
Yeah, that's a little awkward. Right. Can't be mad at Drake for wanting to go through all those things.
You're not mad at it?
No.
Well, if you don't know what she looks like, you can take a look at Revolt TV. They're posting all the pictures.
Yeah, they bad, bro.
It's the Indian
they bad, but I'm a change man. You grab my Bible. Who my Bible?
All right, now let's talk about some new situations. There's a new movie called Monster, and that movie is actually going to be executive produced by Nas and John Legend. They're actually going to be expanding their acting resumes. Nas and A$AP Rocky are in the movie as well. So it should be pretty interesting. Nas is doing a lot.
Nas is doing a lot. He's investing a lot. He's
and so is John Legend. All right, so I'm looking forward to seeing this. The plot is about a teenage honor student, and it's based on a book as well, named Steve Hartman. They changed his name to Harrison in the movie. He is wrongfully accused of murder, and it talks about his journey throughout the trial.
Yeah, Nas and John Legend are quietly executive producing a lot of shows that people may not even realize. Nas was like EP to Get Down. He got the show coming out based on, I think, Biggie's life or Biggie's lyrics or something. I don't know.
Right, there's a lot going on there. We see everybody jumping in. You see Jay-Z's been doing a lot as well.
Absolutely. And executive producer is a great title to have.
It's really nice to see everybody expanding and doing different things. All right, Prodigy, in the meantime, speaking of expanding, has a book out today. And this book is called Commissary Kitchen, My Infamous Cookbook. Now, what Prodigy is talking about in this book is being locked up 3.5 years in New York for weapons charges. He said while he was locked up, he couldn't get over how unappetizing the prison food was. And that's when his family started sending him all these 30-pound care packages of green veggies and other food. And he talks about using a microwave and a toaster and cooking his own meals. So I guess it's like a kind of a jail cookbook.
Okay.
Teach you how to make certain things like barbecue salmon over rice and macaroni salad. And he talks about why he wrote the book. He actually did an interview with Bassett talking about his experience of being in jail and cooking. He said, I learned that the 2 hours it takes to prepare a meal and eat it and all that, it took our mind off of where we were for a little while. It was peaceful, relaxing, kind of like meditating. He also had sickle cell, so he wanted to make sure that he was healthier while he was in jail, instead of eating that jail food. All right, well, that is your rumor report. I'm Angela Yee.
All right, Missy Charlemagne.
Yes.
Who you giving that donkey to?
Listen, it's a young lady that was on CNN last night. Her name is Betsy McCaughey. I believe that's how you pronounce her name. She needs to come in front of the congregation. We'd like to have a word with her.
Okay.
And after Donkey, we're going to talk about the Venus sequence.
Yeah,
it's a teachable moment.
All right. Let's get into the donkey today. Next, keep it locked. It's the Breakfast Club. Come on.
What? It's time for Donkey of the Day.
What?
I'm a Democrat.
Oh, your granddaughter weighs some syrup on there. Your granddaughter, great granddaughter, she weighs syrup down. And your daughter, granddaughter tried to clean it up. Guess she ain't get it all the way up. How many times you got to heat this goddamn tank?
This ends now.
Thought your technology was raw, Batman. I'm about to start counting how many times I get this tank. 1.
There's nowhere left for you to go.
King Donkey of the Day is a little bit of a mix-up.
So like a donkey.
Oh, okay.
Donkey of the day. The Breakfast Club, bitches.
Now, I've been called a lot in my 23 years that Donkey of the Day is a new one.
Yeah, Donkey of the Day for Tuesday, October 11th goes to Betsy McCaughey, okay, a former lieutenant governor of New York, who last night on CNN called Hillary Clinton hypocritical. Actually, she said hypocritical. Never heard that one.
Hypercritical.
For criticizing Trump's comments about grabbing a woman's pussycat. Now, one of the main excuses Trump supporters are using is that you hear worse in rap songs, and that statement requires an easy rebuttal. And that's simply, hey, you're right, but the rappers aren't running for president. But does that stop people like Betsy McCaughey from firing those shots, using hip-hop, using our culture as ammo as to why Hillary Clinton is a hypocrite? Let's hear what she had to say.
I don't listen to rap music. I don't like that kind of thing because it's full of the F word, the P word, the B word, the A word,
I don't think anybody, listen, I gotta say, I don't think anybody likes that, but those people are not running for president.
Yes, but I wanted to point something out.
Okay, go ahead.
And which is that Hillary Clinton expresses that she finds the language on that bus horrific, but in fact, she likes language like this, quote, I came to slay, bitch. When he F me good, I take his ass to Red Lobster.
Did she say that?
That happens to be a line from Beyonce.
Yeah, I know. That's
her
Beyonce's
favorite performer, whom she says she idolizes and would like to imitate. So, you know what I'm saying to you? There's a lot of hypocrisy in Hillary Clinton expressing such horror.
Okay, Betsy.
Reach! I think I'm big reach. That was a reach of Reed Richards' Fantastic Four proportions, okay? I'm talking to Elastigirl from The Incredibles. First of all, absolutely nothing wrong with Hillary Clinton being a fan of Beyonce. Drop one of Clues bombs for that. You know I'm a Pinkett Smith when Free Nose Carter. Okay, and in that record formation, that line she quoted, Beyonce is talking about consensual sex with her husband, and if the sex is good, she will take him for something to eat at Red Lobster. How does that equate to a man saying when you're famous, random women just let you grab their pussycats? You compare taking your man to eat because he put that consensual good sex on you to a man feeling so privileged and entitled that he feels like he has access to any woman's vaginas he wants just because he's famous? I don't see the correlation. Okay, do Trump supporters ever realize when they try to defend Donald Trump's actions, they end up looking and sounding just as stupid as him? I know why that is. Because association with other people corrupts our character, especially when we have none. Okay, all Trump supporters need to be picky about who they keep around them or whose information they take in, because personalities, words, and traits do rub off on you. And boy, y'all got a lot of Trump on y'all. Please give Betsy McCaughey the biggest hee-haw. All right.
Hypocrisy.
Is that a word? Is that how you pronounce it?
I thought it was hypocrisy.
Oh, it is hypocrisy. All right.
Who am I?
Thank you for that, Donkey today. When we come back, we got to talk this Beanie Siegel interview.
Yeah, I thought it was a couple teachable moments in there, but you know, the biggest teachable moment is just something that I've been stressing for the longest.
What's that?
Being real and being criminal is two different things. I think for a long time in our culture, you know, we act like being criminal is so-called real. You know, just because of how many felonies you got, how many times you've been in jail, how many people you shot, how many times you pulled up somewhere with your gun, people say you're real. But
That means you got caught.
Yeah. No, it just means you're criminal activity.
Absolutely.
Okay. You can be real. There's plenty of real people out here.
What's the question?
And you can also do those things and not be real.
What's the question?
Let's be clear.
That's my point.
Right.
That's what I just said.
Well, what's the question, guys?
Huh?
I don't know.
What is the question? What's the question?
Yeah. Like, what is the difference? Like, what are the
difference between being real and being criminal?
Yes. I'd like to hear how other people feel about that, because that's just my opinion. My opinion is that you can be real. Like, a real person is just somebody who's true to himself, regardless of what that is. You know, I just think it's a difference between being real and being criminal.
Most criminals aren't real. If you think about it, 800-585-105. No, you think about it. Me and you do a crime, I get caught, I snitch on you. Is that being real?
We both did the crime. Now I get caught now.
You're being true to yourself. You're just a snitch.
800-585-1051. We're talking criminal versus being real.
I just want to hear what people think about that. The real versus criminal thing. Because I think it's a difference.
Okay, we'll talk about it when we come back.
Let me know.
800-585-1051 is the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Rejoice, America. Tuesday, the O'Neills are all new at a new time, 9:30, 8:30 Central. New O'Neills, new OMG.
The O'Neills are getting some. Except for me, I'm not.
The Real O'Neills, season premiere Tuesday on ABC.
In Dragon Ball Super, the power scaling is something that has kind of gotten out of hand recently, and that is certainly the case when it comes to the forms in which Goku and Vegeta possess. We already know of the power of the Super Saiyan forms before Goku became a god, and before Vegeta got God Ki. However, what is the power of the Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan 2, and Super Saiyan 3 forms after that God Ki boost, and after Goku and Vegeta absorb that world within their bodies? Well, today, myself and Geekless TV are going to be talking about that and discussing whether or not Super Saiyan 3 and 2 are more powerful than Super Saiyan God right now. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel to stay up to date on all upcoming videos in the future. Hey guys, it's Mike here, and today we're going to be talking about and asking that question of whether or not Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3 are more powerful than Super Saiyan God after Goku and Vegeta absorb that God Ki within their bodies. And so MJ, today we're going to present 3 different theories because this has 3 different ways of, I guess, approaching this matter. And the first one I think we should probably talk about is whether or not Goku and Vegeta's base form is actually as powerful as the Super Saiyan God form from Battle of Gods. And so I'll throw it over to you and ask you whether or not you think that's the case and what's the evidence for that.
It could be the case, but... Oh, I guess I'll just get into some of the statements. You can actually find what I'm about to say in episode 22 of Dragon Ball Super for any of those wondering. Basically, Goku and Vegeta are training, they're sparring, Whis calls them down and tells them that it's enough, call it a day. And when they're next to Beerus, Beerus actually looks over at Goku after he eats and tells him, "You're a lot stronger now. How about it?" Pretty much challenging Goku, right?
Yeah.
And Goku says, no way, man, you're kidding, right? Your power is way too big for us still. So, I'm assuming that Beerus was comparing base Goku to the Goku he fought back on Earth. But see, I mean, that's a huge jump, and I know a lot of people are probably going to be commenting right now that I'm stupid, saying that no way, that's not possible, but that's just a statement from the characters in the show. There's also another statement as well, and that is during the actual fight with Frieza. Now, when Goku and Frieza are powering up, Gohan states that he senses an unbelievable amount of ki, and then Krillin goes that he senses an indescribable sense of horror as Goku and Vegeta are fighting. So, whether you want to take that as him saying this fight doesn't compare to Beerus and Goku's, or the fact that maybe Frieza just had more evil ki, right? Take it whichever way you want to interpret it. But the ROF arc gave us statements that would say that Goku and Vegeta are above SSG or equal to it in their base form. Again, take that with a grain of salt. I know people are going to be freaking out in the comment section, but that's statements from the ROF arc.
And then there's also the fact that in the actual Battle of Gods arc itself, when Goku, is actually fighting Beerus after he has fallen out of that form, the Super Saiyan God form, there's a point when Beerus, that concentrate energy ball which came about from their clash, Goku destroys it by punching it in his base form, so
yeah.
How could he have possibly done that unless Goku's base form is somehow able to reach that kind of level that the Super Saiyan God form did? However, we do understand that the Super Saiyan God form being equal to their base does sound a little bit ridiculous because they do have additional forms on top of that. So there is the other, option that perhaps Super Saiyan God and the normal Super Saiyan now are the same level. And MJ, why is that a possibility and a theory as well?
Well, it's basically to cover the fact that when Beerus and Goku were fighting, it says that Goku absorbed the energy, and he was an SSJ when he says he doesn't feel any different. So they could be telling us that his SSJ is equal to the God form, and when he goes and trains with Whis, that Whis just kind of got them to teach them how to control their ki better, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know, bro, because it's very inconsistent about this, because what throws me off about all of this is the recent arc. Now, I know I'm kind of jumping ahead here, but it just seems very... Because, guys, people in the comment section might listen to this. If base Goku is equal to SSG, and then he gets 100 times stronger than that, and then supposedly Trunks can push him back, you know, it's... I don't know. I mean, at this point, I don't think they've retconned anything, but it's very possible at this point that in this arc, at least, they've tried to maneuver the fact that maybe it's Goku's SSJ and Goku's SSJ3 that are closer to God than his base. At least is what I got from this arc.
Yeah.
Of course, you could just call it outliners and it's plot power for Trunks, but that's a hell of a lot of plot power, man.
Well, there's also the fact that, as you've said before off air, like, Goku fought Zamasu as a Super Saiyan 2. Now, if Goku's base is Super Saiyan God, like, is Zamasu as a Kaioshin 200 times stronger or around that level, or 100 times stronger, I guess, than Super Saiyan God? Like, that's nonsensical. That doesn't make any sense at all. Like, how would he be that much more powerful? And why would, like, if Goku's base now is Super Saiyan God, why does Beerus consider him any kind of threat whatsoever? Because that means that when Goku and Beerus were fighting in Battle of Gods, Beerus wasn't even using like 1% of his power. He was not trying at all. So that means that Goku as Super Saiyan Blue, let's say that Super Saiyan Blue is, I don't know, 10 times stronger than their Super Saiyan or whatever. Yeah. That would mean that Goku would be over 500 times stronger than Super Saiyan God as a Super Saiyan Blue, and Beerus still could curb stomp him. Alright, and then he's still supposedly stronger in the anime than Goku as a times 10 Kaioken, so 5,000 times Super Saiyan God. Beerus would still be stronger than that and still be able to probably kick his ass. Same thing with Champa. So it doesn't make much sense to me, like, trying to rationalize in my brain that Super Saiyan God is equal to their base right now. And not to mention the fact that they can sense them when they're fighting in their base forms, because, you know, they mentioned in the Resurrection F arc when he's fighting against Frieza, you know, in both their base forms, they can sense them. They have monstrous power. And then they can't sense them when they turn to a Super Saiyan Blue. So there is that additional theory that perhaps Super Saiyan Blue is much closer to Super Saiyan God's power level because of the fact that Super Saiyan Blue, you know, can't be sensed. The second Goku turns into Super Saiyan Blue against Frieza, nobody can sense him anymore except for Frieza for some reason once he's his golden form.
Plus, there's other stuff to take into account.
Yes.
And I know a lot of guys. Who believe the whole base Goku equals SSG. And guys, I'm not trying to like debunk you or disagree with you guys, because there are statements that prove it or at least indicate it. But you also got to take into account that we know for a fact that Toriyama sends manuscripts or like little outlines, right, to both Toei and Toyotaro. Now, Toyotaro himself also indicated that Goku's base is SSG in the very beginning of his manga. He has Goku and Vegeta training with Whis, and it shows a backdrop of Goku, like a backdrop behind Goku, and you can tell by the shading and the muscle mass that it is SSG Goku. So it's like Toyotaro was trying to tell us in that panel that Goku is striking Whis with the power of SSG in its base. But then skip to the Trunks arc, it's like, why is he even making a comparison of future Trunks to Gohan from the Cell games? That makes absolutely no sense. It makes me wonder if they had an idea of Goku and Vegeta being that strong on their base, but then went against them as the arcs went on, you know?
Well, not to mention, I mean, we could just cut to the Universe 6 arc. Goku transforms into a Super Saiyan God form. Like, first off, Toriyama said he would never do that again. He doesn't need to anymore. In the interview he did around Battle of Gods, the movie, which he also gave out, you know, the Goku is a 6, Beerus is a 10, and Whis is a 15. But, you know, ever since then, it seems like they keep consistently changing everything. So,
yeah.
Essentially, like, Goku turns into a god, which means it's more powerful than his Super Saiyan forms. It's also in the Trunks arc, he turns into a god to beat Trunks really quickly. He just kicks him in the back of the head because Trunks was basically equal to him as a Super Saiyan 3. So, like, there are some people who try and say in the manga Goku didn't absorb the God Ki into his body, but, you know, I spoke with Herms from Kanzenshu about that, and he said that there's nothing really to indicate he didn't. And that could just be that they're trying to conserve time and they can't fit everything into the manga that they likewise can fit in the anime. So I don't know. I just don't feel like it makes sense for him to be in his base form to be stronger than a god or to be equal to the god form. Because that makes Super Saiyan Blue, again, hundreds of times more powerful than God. And it doesn't make any sense. But I think that there is a possibility to say that perhaps Super Saiyan Blue is stronger than God. Maybe Super Saiyan is around the level of God. And so Super Saiyan 2 or Super Saiyan Blue could be, say, like 10 times more powerful than the Super Saiyan form, which normally would make people think, well, that's only, you know, like a little bit more than Super Saiyan 3, which really isn't that much, but this is after they've absorbed the God Ki into their bodies, and their base is already significantly more powerful than Goku ever was as a Super Saiyan 3, just in his base right now. That's why they could beat up Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, that's why they can, you know, fight Frieza, who is way more powerful than an Ultimate Gohan. That's why they could do all this stuff, because their base...
One-shot Takuma?
Yeah, their base is gigantic right now, but I wouldn't say it's that gigantic to where it's God form. I think they're much closer to God form as the Blue, and I think maybe there's an argument that somewhere in between the Super Saiyan and the Blue form, they're around the level of God.
I mean, if they do start throwing out statements that indicated, again, like the whole, hey, Beerus, like, you don't want to fight me in your base, or, if they're that blunt about it, then okay, I'll just turn the other head, because this is Dragon Ball. People have gotten thousands of times stronger before in short amounts of time, you know?
Yeah, just look at Kagama and Frieza and Vegeta and everyone who's ever gotten a Zenkai whenever the plot demanded them to be that much more powerful. Goku, and Cell, I guess, you know, people get powerful in ridiculously short periods of time. Trunks is only one I can actually buy, because if they bring back Zenkais and mention them again at least, he's been fighting someone who's powerful enough to fight Goku as a Super Saiyan 2 in his base alone. So it makes sense that Trunks would, you know, get big power-ups. Plus, you know, this guy is a god in Goku's body. Spoilers. So, yeah, you know, I definitely think that there's an argument, but let us know your own thoughts down below in the comments section, which theory you go with, or if maybe, I guess, you are still part of that, you know, theory that think...
Hey, man, I've been...
God is more powerful than every form we've seen other than God so far. You could also check out the What is the Multiplier for Super Saiyan Blue video, which will be in the description and the annotation, in which myself and Herms from Kanzenchu discuss that. And also make sure to go over to Geeklist TV's channel so you can give him a subscribe and check out all of his videos. We'll be doing a video talking about the feats of Hit during the Universe 6 tournament, so make sure to check that out. And as I always say, stick around, because there's a lot more to come in the future.
Zabaz, we coming for you, Ningun.
Rejoice, America! Tomorrow, the O'Neills are all new at a new time, 9:30, 8:30 Central. New O'Neills, new OMG.
The O'Neills are getting some. Except for me, I'm not.
The Real O'Neills season premiere tomorrow on ABC.
He's Charlemagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get to the rumors. Let's talk Derrick Rose.
This is the Rumor Report with Angela Yee. Breakfast Club. So listen up.
Well, there's a lot riding on this massage therapist who is going to be testifying as early as today in the Derrick Rose alleged rape case. It's a civil rape case. Now, Jessica Kendra Groff is the massage therapist who's up to testify as early as today, and she's friends with the accuser. So basically, she's saying that she accompanied the accuser to Derrick Rose's home in Beverly Hills the night of the alleged attack, and she's also the subject of why it might be a mistrial. Now, the attorneys are saying that the accuser actually deleted a text message that she sent to Groff about Groff. She said, "She was mad at me, babe. Why you have me bring a bitch and you ain't finna F her." That's the text message that the accuser sent to Derrick Rose about the massage therapist who is her friend. So the lawyers are saying this contradicts her claim that she did not consent to the sex that occurred with Derrick Rose and his co-defendants less than 2 hours later at her apartment in downtown LA. So basically what she's trying to say on her behalf is that she bought the women just to give the both of them massages. She had just graduated from massage therapy school. That was her friend, and that was the reason for bringing her. So
you know how complicated that situation sounds.
Very complicated.
Somebody tweeted me yesterday and goes, "I can't believe Charlemagne would get on the radio and say that sometimes consent isn't as simple as yes or no." This is what I gave this example. This is a very complicated situation.
Well, I guess what they're trying to say on behalf of Derrick Rose's lawyers is that she deleted that first text message, so it should be a mistrial because the accuser was deleting messages that looked incriminating on her behalf. So we'll see what happens when she takes the stand, but we will keep you updated on what's going on.
Okay.
All right, the 2016 American Music Award nominations are in, and guess who has the most nominations this year?
Beyonce. Drake.
Drake has 13 nominations.
Drake got more than Beyonce?
Which is a record for most in a single year. He actually beat Michael Jackson, who had 11 nominations back in 1984. So Drake is still breaking records.
So how much Beyonce Lemonade album got?
Beyonce got 4 nominations.
Really?
Yes.
So disgusting. I am disgusted. Lemonade is deserving of a double-digit nomination.
Now, Rihanna got 7 nominations. Adele and Justin Bieber got 5. And Beyonce and the Chainsmokers got 4 nominations each.
Okay.
I mean, Beyonce and Drake are going to be competing in Artist of the Year, along with Adele, Rihanna, The Weeknd, Selena Gomez, Ariana Grande. That's going to be.
Listen, I know I'm a Pinkett Smith Winfrey Knowles Carter, so I could be a tad bit biased. I think Beyonce would win that category.
Okay, Artist of the Year?
Yeah, I think so. Out of everybody you just named, I think so.
But congratulations to Drake on his 13 nominations and breaking a record.
I want to do Bon Farmer.
All right, Dancing with the Stars. I know y'all haven't been keeping up. That's why I'm going to keep you updated on what's going on. Now, Amber Rose was feeling the stress because she thought she might get eliminated yesterday.
I heard she's pretty bad. Dancing, is that true?
You got to watch it and see.
What do you think? I haven't seen it.
I mean... She's
Just say yes or no, man. God dang, it's going to be so complicated.
Is she good or not?
You know what? I'm going to tell you what's difficult. The best person I ever saw on Dancing with the Stars was Nicole Scherzinger. But it's not fair because she's a professional dancer.
He didn't ask you that.
So
He
most
asked
of
you
the
was
people
Amber
aren't
Rose
professional
good or not?
dancers.
How is Amber Rose? Amber Rose was a professional dancer.
She's not the worst and she's not the best. There's people worse than her, but...
You're a politician.
I'm just being honest.
But can she dance? You say yes, she can dance.
I want her to be able to twerk better and do things like that. That's all. I feel like she could have been. I thought I had expectations because she was a dancer.
So she can dance.
She's all right, but she's not.
They better not ever call you to host no shows like American Idol, Dancing with the Stars, America's Got Talent. You better not ever be a judge on those shows.
I'm just trying to be honest about what it is. I thought because she was a dancer that she would be
so she can't dance.
A lot more fluid in her movement.
She can't dance is what Angelique's trying to say.
But she's okay.
She's okay.
I mean, if you compare it to the rest of the contestants, she's not bad, but she's not no Nicole Scherzinger. Okay. All right. Well, the last night, what the theme was an important time in your life, and for her, that was 2013. That was the year that she had Sebastian. Okay. She got married, but before she actually had to perform, she was breaking down. Check it out.
What are you worried about?
It's like this is hard.
Yes, it's called Dancing with the Stars.
But it's like Sunday, and I have heels on.
Babe, yes, and you have to turn around, music plays, you go from beginning to the end, just like you did in rehearsal. It's fine. You got this. You're good. Suck it up. Like what your week story is about, and get this done.
What does having heels on a Sunday have to do with anything?
I guess she's saying it makes the dancing even harder that she has to do it with heels on, which y'all couldn't relate to.
No.
Of course.
That's how you know she was in pain, because it sounded like she was just saying anything. It's Sunday and I have heels on. That's when you're in pain. You see little kids and they just say the wildest, randomest stuff. Like, what are you talking about?
Well, the good thing is that there was no elimination, and next week Pitbull will actually be serving as a judge when they return next week. But one of the most emotional ones this past week was race car driver James Hinchcliffe. Now, if you guys remember this, he actually was he's an IndyCar driver. He almost lost his life last year when he crashed into a wall at over 200 miles per hour. Remember when that happened? Mm-hmm. All right, that's when the car disintegrated. A shard impaled in his upper left thigh. It struck an artery, and according to his doctor, he said he had to replace all of the blood in his body 3 times over. Saved his life at the hospital, so he actually had a score of 29 out of 30.
Wow.
All right, and that is your rumor report. I'm Angela Yee.
What's the matter? Why you couldn't change it? Come here, man. Come here. Let me change your diaper for you. Come here. Come here. Come here, let me change your diaper, man. Shit. I'm here, man. Come here. Let me change your diaper. Goddamn crying.
I just want to tell Amber Rose too, if you can walk in the slut walking hills, you can dance with the stars in hills.
Shut
okay?
up. Shut up, man.
Everybody was breaking down. It's a stressful show.
Okay.
Amber, you said you wanted to do Dancing with the Stars at
I would do it. Absolutely would do
I
it.
remember you were like, I need to get on there.
I would do it.
We would definitely vote for you every week.
I wouldn't dance with no heels on a Sunday, but I would definitely do it.
What about Saturday?
Shut up. All right. And when we come back, Beanie Siegel will be joining us. We'll kick it with Beanie Siegel, of course.
Okay, let me tell you about the poll. I got the poll up right now. Is Beanie Siegel going to curse me out this morning? 76% of the people say facts. 24% of the people say no facts. We'll see.
Oh, this is DMX. You know what makes me mad? Ask for the truth, but can't handle the truth. Right? Now tell them why you mad on the Breakfast Club. Bitches.
Hello, who's this?
Sam from Atlanta, Georgia.
The what, man? Why you sound so depressed, bro?
Because my grandmother just passed, and it don't look like I'm going to be able to get to the funeral in time because it's on Sunday. I don't have no money because I had just bought my car.
So why don't you drive your car there?
Well, my grandmother is in New York, and I live in Atlanta. But this car isn't like a traveling car. It's a commute car. It's like a...
It might not make it.
It's not that it might not make it. It's definitely not going to make it.
When's your grandma's funeral?
It's on Sunday.
It's a Sunday in New York.
Okay, this is what you do. You email Angela Yee at breakfastclubam@gmail.com and provide proof of your grandmother's death and provide proof of the funeral. And I'll fly you to New York.
There you go.
You don't know what that means to me because me and my brother are kind of just stuck out here. My mom's already out there. We just out here just...
What? Nah. You didn't say nothing about two people now. What happened now?
No, it's him and his brother stuff, man. You got to fly them both, bro.
What?
Yeah. Hey, you can do it if you want. I mean, I'm not asking to beg it. I'm just upset about
email breakfastclub@gmail.com.
I'll check it out. We need to see all the details.
And I'm putting insurance on both them tickets. So that means I can cancel the flight and get my money back. If I pay for these flights, don't you go to your grandma's funeral and take selfies with her dead body now.
And now you know you...
Yeah, that Batman, that's Arkham Knight. And Batman, yeah.
Sir, the Arkham Knight. Did you subdue him?
He's gone.
You don't sound entirely sure, sir.
Ivy, I've destroyed the cloudburst. Purify the remaining toxin as fast as you can.
Ivy. I fear you may be too late, sir. Scans reveal the toxin is overwhelming Ivy's plants.
I'm heading to her now.
The cloudburst was mine. My greatest weapon, my instrument of fear. I will exact vengeance for this upon you and all your allies. Like poison ivy. My toxin overwhelms her. She's paying the price for opposing me right now.
Ivy.
Rejoice, America! Tonight, the O'Neills are all new at a new time, 9:30, 8:30 Central. New O'Neills, new.
In Dragon Ball Super, the power scaling is something that has kind of gotten out of hand recently, and that is certainly the case when it comes to the forms in which Goku and Vegeta possess. We already know.
So the basic response there, Van, it was locker room talk, but nothing compared to the horrors of ISIS, and I'm going to stop ISIS.
Yeah, you know, I just thought that was just horrible. He rather than apologizing, he minimized. And that was something that everybody here agreed he should avoid doing. And basically, if the only thing you have to say about yourself is, I'm not as bad as ISIS, I'm not, I mean, that's your defense, there's something wrong with that kind of response. The other thing is that you cannot underestimate the history that was made in our country. A line was crossed that I don't know has been crossed in my lifetime, maybe ever. He threatened to jail his opponent. Right. He threatened to jail Hillary Clinton if he became president of the United States. That is something that I think is a new low in American democracy. But I will say something maybe provocative. I think Hillary won because...
Clearing the toxin took everything she had.
Oh, I see. Her final act was a noble one.
I need to find Scarecrow before anyone else dies. Do you have any leads?
Nothing concrete, sir. But the GCPD comms room might. They're currently puzzled by an encrypted transmission sent on a SWAT channel from within the city. Most odd, given there are no SWAT officers currently in the field. Then, of course, there are the numerous unsolved cases that still require your attention. With the toxin clear, now would be the perfect time to reassert your control of the city.
You actually believe you? Don't you bet?
I thought you might be missing me, Bruce. I've got one of Penguin's trucks. It's down a back alley near Salvation Bridge.
Thanks. I'll track it on foot. Get ready to meet me at the weapons cache when I've located it.
For even as my toxin dissipates, it leaves behind a forsaken city forever tainted by your failure. Tonight, the myth of Batman dies, and Gotham dies with it. This is the life. Truck full of guns, warehouse full of cash. You think I almost... Look out! It's the bat! Cops are out there robbing banks and there's no one left to stop them. I know where I'd rather be. We'll get our money.
Paper gave me his word. I believe it when I see it. At least with Cobblepot, you know where you stand. With kids. If you're best.
Yeah, you got a point.
What's up with all the tanks and soldiers? I thought tonight the city was gonna be ours. We're part of the criminal fraternity. We got rights. Nightwing's out of his mind coming here. He's gonna learn pretty fast this time.
Hey, Lenny. Is that you?
Oh God, it's him! The frickin' bat! Get us out of here! It's the bat!
What are we gonna do? Lose him! We gotta get off the road! Okay, hold on! What the hell is the bat doing here? I thought Scarecrow took care of him! Anyone see him? I'm trying to drive here. I don't see anything. You think he's still out there? How should I know? Hey, boss. We got a problem. What is it? It's the bat. He's following us. We'll lose him. We're trying. It ain't easy.
I don't want to hear that. If you bring him anywhere near my guns, I'll do you some serious damage. Where is he now?
I don't know. I can't see him.
Just 'cause you can't see him, don't mean he can't see you. Next time I hear from you, it better be good news.
He's gone. We actually lost him. All right, get us off the road before he comes back. I'm taking us back to base. Good thinking. I knew we could outrun him. He never had a chance of catching us. Told you he couldn't keep up. The bat's lost it.
Penguin is using the Sionis Industries building as a front for one of his weapons caches. I'll take point.
Age before beauty, Bruce. I'll keep my entrance understated, as always.
Oh.
I should drop in and pay them a visit.
I will. Well. So get me more bad.
Roll up to that big hunk of man.
Funny.
Real funny.
What?
What you gonna do with your cut of this cord? What are you talking about? Penguin needs us.
Girl, don't tell me you poo-poo. Are you serious? You killing me, bro.
Plenty more where you came from. Hey, what are you saying? He's saying guys like me and you, we're a dime a dozen. Speak for yourself. My mom always told me I was special. Yeah, mine too. Just shut your mouth and keep a lookout. Wish it was me out there getting to have fun with all these weapons.
Yeah, baby. Fun.
I'm good for ammo. Let me know if you need any.
I'll try not to make you look too bad.
Don't worry, Knight. This won't take long.
Come in, Nightwing. Let me know if you get your hands.
Keep them coming, Nightwing.
I can't remember when I had this much fun.
You can't touch me.
Nice shot. You're staying down. I forgot how well we work together.
I hadn't. I only work with the best.
Whoa. Don't get any ideas, Bruce. It's not permanent. I like the new job too much, you know? The work's good, I get to decide my own hours, and best of all, there's no boss looking over my shoulder.
Closing the vault door will contain the explosion. I'm not far enough away to detonate the explosive.
This isn't over yet. By my count, Penguin must have at least 3 more of these caches in the city. That equals a lot.
What you doing? Stop. I'm coming.
The guns on the street. Be a long night.
I'm used to it. Just keep tracking those refrigeration trucks.
And here I thought you might give me a real challenge.
There's a killer out there, Alfred. He must pay for what he's done.
The opera music seems as though it's all part of this sick...
Whatever Riddler's built beneath Chinatown, it's not going to stop me.
I thought the gas was just supposed to freak you out a bit. Some of us got more than we bargained for. Yeah, some of us are asleep permanently. Scarecrow needs to do something about the bat, and fast. By morning, this place is gonna have more plant life than an acre.
This is gonna...
Start talking. I'll tell you when to stop.
You want to know about Riddler? I know lots about Riddler.
Much obliged.
I guess Arkham Knight was just like all the other losers who tried to beat the bat. I got him! He's in the cauldron!
Pissy shit is pissy.
going back to jail, Linz.
Scarecrow promised me Gotham. Tinder for my flame.
This will not be like last time. Die! That's it, Batman. Keep chasing me.
Tonight, this stinking city will be purified by flames!
You know, sir, I believe we've met that charming pyromaniac before.
Firefly.
It seems Scarecrow made everyone aware that Gotham would be defenseless tonight.
He's dangerous, Alfred. Keep watch for more fires.
Mission complete. Simulation activated.
you eating? What you got in your mouth?
Simulation activated. Simulation complete. Simulation activated.
Whoa. Yo. Ma, I gotta use it now. Ma, I gotta poop now. I done put her clothes on and everything. I shit on myself. Y'all going somewhere. I don't know where y'all going.
Okay. I'm watch. Okay. Thank you.
talking like me. You know.
Here, Dad. Dad? 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 Where you at, Grandpa? He in the toilet? I'm about to go somewhere. What cream got to put on? Dad! Come down, won't you?
What?
You gotta sit more.
What?
Let me do your hair.
What? 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 Alright. I'm already here.
What's wrong?
Yeah, this is my ride on the way.
We're gonna get King.
She is.